Hey, and welcome to the channel. Let's do an unboxing of a Baoli ukulele. Now, some people really hate unboxing videos. That's okay. Some people really hate cheap plastic ukuleles. That's okay too. Long story made very short. A couple months ago, a guy by the name of Alan Brandt, somebody that I follow in social media, real nice guy, collector of TV Pal, old plastic ukuleles, wrote about this ukulele, and he said, I've been seeing these on eBay for about $18. They're now about $19 on eBay. And he said, I just decided to take the risk. And he ordered one, and when he did, he was shocked that it actually worked. And when I was down at the Ukulele World Congress in Indiana at the beginning of June, I had a chance to meet Alan in person, and he had it with him, and sure enough, it actually worked. Now, if this is your only ukulele, probably not a good first purchase unless you have a kid. But if you are a person with a bunch of ukuleles and you want a ukulele you can just drag with you and not worry about if somebody steals or something happens to it, might be a good option. So let's take a look at what we've got here. So a little bit about this purchase. I ordered it from eBay. I don't know if I would suggest buying it from eBay or not. Baoli does sell direct, and they have an item in Amazon. If you contact them, they'll actually add items there for you. I will put a picture of that listing up here, and then also put a link in the description below, which will be a referral link. So if you buy one of these, you'll send, 70 cents my direction, which would be nice. But anyway, I ordered this item off of eBay, and last week got a package I've been waiting for, and it showed up, and it was a pill pen, a pen that was like a pill. So you take it apart and it expands into a pen. And it said, "Dear friend, thank you for your purchase. This is just a gift. Your item is still coming." And I lost my mind. Not terribly, but I was really disappointed. And I started emailing immediately to the company. And we went back and forth. And they're like, "No, the product already arrived." I'm like, "No, this isn't it. The tracking number, this is the package." Well, this morning they wrote back again and said, "Oh, well, here's the actual tracking number and it's going to come today." And guess what? It did. So I don't know why the company just didn't wait to ship it and then put in the right tracking number, because that would have caused there would have been no problems, but that's kind of what happened. So this arrived today. It's straight from China. There's a big sticker on it that said made in China, as if there is any doubt. And it came packaged like this. Box seems to have made the journey just fine. It is one of those boxes where somebody has custom folded it over and cut it. So let's cut it apart and see what it looks like. So here we go. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to open it from. Okay, that's one side right there. I think I'll get over here. All right, and one more side to cut. There we go. Okay, and a whole bunch of Chinese on the side of the box. And pull it out of the box. They put down an extra piece of cardboard in there. And there's that. And here is our Baoli 36M plus, 36 months plus. And I can't read the rest of it. You can buy this happy fellow. Have no idea what all this says, because it's clearly not for American market. It comes with a handle, so if you need to use this as a ukulele case, you could. Don't actually do that. And that's pretty much it. So it does have English ukulele right there, so that's nice. So let's open this thing up a little further. Should I go from the top or the bottom? Let's go to the bottom. Give that a shot. All right. Opening the bottom pieces right now. It's exciting. We need like ukulele music in the background. While I'm opening this. Okay, and when I open this, seems to be stuck up here. I'll go the other way then. Try to always cut away from yourself. here's the other side. Let's see if we can get it now this way. There we go. Oh, there's a little book here. A ukulele book that popped out. And is any part of it in English? Yeah. There's songs in Chinese. And they've got words Nunez, Fernandez, Agustin, Diaz. So this must be the history of the ukulele. The three cabinet makers from Portugal, or Madeira, Spain, that or Portugal, whichever. Yeah, Madeira, Portugal. That basically invented the ukulele from the existing instruments a little bit. So it comes with a book that I'm not going to be able to read unless I find somebody that can. But then free floating is the ukulele. Now it is solid plastic all the way around. Plastic neck, metal tuners. That's kind of important in this process. Looks like a keyless Super Nile Gut strings, although it could be imitation. Kind of a tie bar bridge, except you tie it and it kind of disappears up that little slot. You can see the molding, kind of a wood texture on the back, but not the sides. Sides are smooth. This is the dark brown version, although it's kind of more tannish. And that's it. Now, let's... Definitely not tuned yet, so let's do that. I have my handy dandy Jawum tuner, and let's see what we've got here. Season tune. Tune it again. And no doubt these tunes are going to keep stretching out of tune. Harmonics seem to work at the 12th, which means that the 12th is set right. But we'll come back after letting the strings stretch for a while and see how it actually does. Now, there is one other thing that I want to talk about with this ukulele really quick, which is one of the reasons why it's of interest to me. Look at how the top immediately starts bowing. Not sure if that's going to be a problem. We'll find out. We'll check out the action a little bit later. But one of the other things that interests me about it is that it's supposed to be a concert scale neck, or closer to concert than a soprano. So we'll check that out as well. So this is my latest ukulele, about $19 shipped from China. A little bit of confusion on eBay over the purchase, and we'll come back to it and see how it goes. Now remember, with a plastic ukulele, if the action is bad, you're not going to be able to fix that with your ukulele. You might be able to raise strings up somehow, but you're certainly not going to be able to bring them down. So we'll check out action, we'll check out playability, we'll check out everything else a little bit later. But the metal tuners make it a little more hopeful, and we'll see how it goes. So now this is the second part of this video after I've given the Baoli ukulele a little bit of time to settle down. Now today I had sort of a brainstorm idea, and I've created something called the Uke Guide. There are a number of websites that review ukuleles. One of the best is Got a Ukulele by Barry Mass. But I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about how can I summarize my thoughts better in these videos. So what I've done is I've made a one-page sheet that covers what I think are the big topics when you have a ukulele review. I'm kind of stealing the idea from an energy guide. You know, when you buy an appliance, there's this big yellow sticker on it, at least in the United States, that tells you how it is with energy savings. And instead I'm looking at ukulele parts. So I'm going to put right up here an image of a uke guide. At least that's one of the templates that I was working on. And you'll be able to find all the uke guides as I create them down the road at ukeguide.info. I'll put that up there as well. You can go to ukeguide.info, and that'll be a shortcut to the page at ukestuff.info where you can find the uke guides. So let's talk about this Baoli instrument a little bit. Okay, it's very inexpensive, less than $20 if you buy it from eBay. On eBay, it's going to cost you $20 to $30. Comparatively to a Waterman, which I think is going to be the closest competition, maybe the Bugs Gear, they're going to be a bit more expensive than that. As a result, because it actually works as an instrument, its value exceeds the price, whereas sometimes you have it the opposite way around. So in other words, you're getting more than your money's worth, I think, with this instrument. Now, the build quality, it's a plastic ukulele, so that's overall kind of questionable. There's not a lot of like luthery to look at with the instrument. It has a little bit of a rough edge right along where the soundboard meets the body. Everything else is just smooth plastic. There is one spot where the fretboard looks like it's lifting off of the body, and there's kind of even a little bump there. I don't know if you can pick that up in the video. It's really minor, and that would be my only concern along with the neck. Now, when I'm playing and I bend the neck, I can get a warble effect by vibrating the neck. But I'll show you another example of that in just a moment. So I'm not totally concerned about that originally. It's like, uh-oh. But then I tried something else. I'll talk to you more about it. So appearance, it's not a bad looking one. I would never buy the pink one. I'd never buy the light blue one. I'll put an image up right here of those. I would never do that with either one. It has a textured back, completely smooth gloss, sides and neck, a faux wood fretboard, along with a faux wood bridge with a molded saddle, and a printed sound hole and Baoli logo with a traditional Crown Martin stock with chrome geared tuners. The screws here, I believe, attach the plates and the fretboard to the neck, and that's pretty much all that you've got for construction. So other than that kind of a little bit of a rough edge, and I might take some fine sandpaper to that eventually if it really bugs me, and that little bit of separation there are the only things that I'm concerned about. So the appearance is, I mean, it's nothing super. I mean, it's not unattractive as a completely fake plastic ukulele goes. If you don't like the faux wood, they have pink and blue, but otherwise the faux wood is the only other option. This is the darker of the two options there. And again, they're available. You just have to wait for them. I think Amazon can get the pink one to you with Prime, but the other colors, you either have to contact them or it may take a while to get them to you. As for playability, it's okay. It's okay. So it doesn't make playing any easier. It really, the profile of the neck to the top of the strings here is really rather chunky. Its overall nut width is just over 35 millimeters. So it's substantial to play, but it doesn't get in your way either. So it neither hinders you nor helps you really as you're playing with the build itself. The sound quality is like a plastic ukulele and like a bigger plastic ukulele. I still remember playing the Watermans we bought for our school, and they were kind of dark and boomy compared to the Sopranos. So here's what I wanted, before I talk any more about this instrument, I wanted to pull out this one. My friend Ukester Brown gave this to me, which I am forever grateful for, and it is a 1950s Maccaferri Islander. And Maccaferri was the first guy that made a ukulele out of plastic, and they sold millions of these. And the design is very similar to the Baoli, but the difference is the Maccaferri Waterman tried to kind of copy this. The Baoli uses it as a reference and does some things that are different. So anyway, in sound quality, the soprano here of the Maccaferri, I think there's a little bit lighter plastic that's being used. Of course, it's got nearly 70 years of age on it, but listen to this. Very light, very clear for a plastic ukulele. No, a Waterman doesn't sound like that either. And so that's my Maccaferri. Now, in comparison, here is my Baoli that I just got. Let me tune it up again. The strings are still stretching a little bit, but they're actually holding pretty well overall. You might say, can't you just tune without using a tuner like that? Yes, I can. This just makes it easier and faster, and I can talk over it while I'm tuning. So here's what this one sounds like. It doesn't have that bright resonance. Kind of mess that up a little bit. But you can hear in there what it's doing. So it's kind of loudish. It's a little darkerish, and it's a plastic ukulele sound. So as I evaluate it, you can kind of, if you check out the uke guide, you'll see where that slides around. It's kind of there. Scale length is concert. That's the other thing that's kind of cool about this, is that if you want a concert plastic ukulele, you either have to get the Waterman or you have to get the Bugs gear. So if you compare it to the Maccaferri, if I'm holding them, Maccaferri is a soprano, you can see that Baoli is a concert instrument. So if you're a person like myself that likes a concert instrument, here's a $20 ukulele that you can take and lose or destroy or whatever it might have to be without fretting too much, no pun intended, about it. So that's kind of nice. It's 15 inches from the nut to the saddle, 17 frets with markers on the front, but nothing on the side. So nothing would stop you from putting some dots on with like a Sharpie and then rewriting them as you need it. It's a double bout standard ukulele shape with a faux wood plastic soundboard, kind of a textured back, and we talked about that, and then smooth sides in there. The fretboard is a different type of plastic faux wood. It actually has a wood grain. If I get close enough and get it in the light there, you can see that it actually has a wood grain just like the top, as does the bridge. Now, before I go any further, I also noticed that the bridge seems like it's tipping, but the more that I look at it, I realize that the soundboard is flat. It's the bridge that's designed to actually be at that angle. I don't know. It just is the way that it is. So just leave it at that. It is not radius. It's a flat front. The nut here, and there's not a 0 fret. A lot of these plastic ukuleles will have a 0 fret to keep intonation straightened out. This one does not. It's just a normal nut where that vibration stops up there, and then the saddle is built into the bridge all in one piece, and it's not compensated. The overall length is 23 inches, which is pretty standard for a concert, and its weight is 1 pound, 8 ounces, which is not light, but it's also not heavy. The gears, not closed gear tuners, but it's open geared metal tuners that work smoothly. Not a problem with those. They are inexpensive, but at the same time, they work. They're not sloppy. There's no play. There's no grinding. They work, and they even work well with the Jawum tuner there. The action is something to be concerned about. The action is a little high at the first. It's between 0.5 millimeters and 1 millimeter, so I'd like that to be lower. When I take the strings off, I could file a little bit down on the nut to get that a little bit lower. And then the other concern point is at the 12th fret right here, it is a little bit higher than I'd like to see. I'd really like to see it at between 2.5 and 2.75 millimeters when I'm looking with a string action gauge ruler, but it's a little bit high. And what you really notice is then when you press strings down here, if you're playing down here, and I've started doing that, and once you play ukulele for a while, you start using your whole fretboard. But as I press down here, there is a whole lot of string motion pulling the string potentially out of tune as you play higher and higher up the neck with the action that's higher there. So that's a slight concern. The nut width, again, I've talked about this, is 35.46 millimeters, so not quite 36 millimeters, but a little bit wider than 35. The space between the strings is about 8.9 millimeters, so again, you're getting a little bit more space than a traditional soprano. And the depth at the 3rd fret from the top of the strings to the bottom of the neck is 24.75 millimeters, which is kind of chunky, with a C sort of shape profile. So overall, it's not purely a toy. This can actually play. It's actually set with the right amount of space between the frets. When I bought a ukulele very similar to this from Five Below, it's a store here in the United States, they have a $5 ukulele. I bought it with just wondering if it could actually work. And the fact was that even before you got past their plastic tuners and the fact that strings were just brought down and looped back around, the 1st fret was significantly smaller than the 2nd, meaning the entire thing could never even possibly play in tune, even if you did like a tuner upgrade on that instrument. So this one actually isn't just a toy, it actually works. The action is a little bit higher, but for an instrument that you can take with you anywhere, play anywhere, it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. And the only big question is, will it last? Will this neck eventually snap off, or will it break at this point? And if it does, I'll be sure to come back in with another update, different video than this review here today. All you get along with ukulele is this little book about playing ukulele that's in Chinese. So if you read Chinese, this would be good. If you don't, this is something that maybe you'll just hold on as a keepsake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rate every ukulele from this point forward on a 5 ukulele review, between 1 and 5 ukuleles. Might as well, because stars already used, right? So I'm going to rate this as a 2.5 out of 5 as ukuleles go. It's not a super ukulele. This is not going to replace your player, but this is something that you could play at a jam or at a foul weather situation or at the beach. You wouldn't want to leave it in your car because it could melt. The high action could cause some intonation issues. We don't know what's going to happen with the neck over time. So at the same time, it's a less than $20 ukulele if you wait for it off of eBay and you live in the United States, and it works. And there are plenty of situations where people have complained about some of the other plastic ukuleles that are out there. I don't want to get into names of that, but with those complaints, this plays just as well as some of those other plastic ukuleles for even a fraction of the price, and might be worth checking out. So thanks for watching the unboxing of this ukulele earlier in the video, and for watching the review. Don't forget to go to ukeguide.info if you want to see the fact sheet that I've created for the instrument. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.